There we go. It says we're live. Let's check here. I always like to make sure.
Yeah. You don't want to talk and talk and talk. Oh, there we are. We're in,
Yes.
we're in there.
All right. Oh, it's not working for me yet. Might be too many kids. Oh, there we are. Yep. Awesome. Okie dokie. Well, Linda,
Hey,
thank
hey.
you so much for coming and hanging out with me.
So how cold actually is it where you live?
Well, it's not as bad because we live close to Lake Michigan and you've been here. So we actually get snow and then it disappears for the first, couple of months. And then once it starts to cool down, like my mother and father-in-law live in northern Michigan in Gaylord, and it's already like they canceled school today.
Well, I was watching the rallies around the nation, and
Yes.
I noticed there's snow in different places. And you know how I am, Katie Ray. I love you, and I love where you live, and I want to come see you, but I do not come and see you in the cold. Cold. Oh, we got people coming in. Oh, it's good.
Yes.
See. All right. Very good. I think Cassandra's making comments. You guys be sure and tell us you're on, so we know that you guys are on, because I'm gonna give you a quiz later on. I'm kidding. I'm not giving you a quiz. Cassandra says it's cold but beautiful, and you're right.
Yes.
It is beautiful. I'll give it to you, but it's cold. Okay, let's just get real clear. It's really cold.
Well, and you had one experience many, many years ago where Chadney drove you up here in a snowstorm, or you drove home in a snowstorm. And I think that was a little scary.
Well, it's well, anyway, the other part of it, there's more to this story. There's the other part of it. Somebody just called me the other day. She wanted me to go to Oklahoma in January. I said, let me explain something to you. I have slept on too many airport floors and tried to sleep in airport chairs because I got caught in airports in January and February. So I just don't do January and February anymore.
Right.
I can't put it off my date book. I'm a retired national. I don't have to do anything I don't want to.
That's right. So thank you for hanging out with me tonight, because you could be, well, you are home, but you could be sitting in front of your fire watching a good movie.
I do have a fireplace on. I do have a fireplace on.
Well,
I see Colleen on here.
Yes, and Colleen remembers because she's been with me for a while. She said, wasn't there a deer? And
yes, Colleen, there was a deer involved.
No, not that time. But Linda, this is a funny, real quick about Linda. I had to pick her up from the airport, and we were headed back to my house, and a deer came out. We were on the highway, and I hit a deer, kind of. I nicked him, and he kept running, and I pulled over, and he did some damage to my car. But Linda was like, Katie Ray, you got your gun? No, I don't have my gun.
Hey, did you see? I don't know if you follow Katie, my daughter, on Instagram.
Oh, I know.
My daughter yesterday was robbed at her house. Someone broke in her house. Her father is home from Argentina, so he's staying at her house. And it's like a little Airbnb that she rents. And when it's not renting, then she stays there. So he's there and she's there right now. And someone came in the middle of the day. They have lots of musical equipment. They stole a ton of stuff. And my daughter, who has real anti-gun, today got one. And she is on Instagram saying,
I saw it.
You robbed me again. I'm shooting you.
I saw it. I was like, ooh, she's at a gun range. She means business. At the bottom, it says, try to break in again or something. I thought, woo, she means business.
I mean, she had the stance. She was like, hey, you probably got to take that off of Instagram. I don't know if that's good or not.
Well, people won't be messing with her no more, I guess.
Don't be messing with her. Oh my gosh. Katie Ray, girl, y'all just finished Equinox. Are you kidding me? Why didn't you do that when I was an active baker and I would have gotten paid on that?
I know. I knew you would say that to me. I'm sorry I waited for you to retire.
I retire and I don't get paid on that anymore. And then you go and win an Equinox. You need an Equinox. You got a bunch of kids.
Well, and everyone's a giant in my house. So yeah,
We are.
Isaiah said to me, okay, now we need a pink Cadillac because seriously, we need more leg room.
Well,
I know.
I am coming in here to talk to your girls about a pink Cadillac because are there any in your county?
No, like we'd have to go an hour from here. Grand Rapids, where you fly in.
Okay, so there is nobody within an hour of any direction. Well, one direction you're in the lake, but
right. We could swim out for an hour and see, but
well, okay. So let's just talk about this like sane people. You've got amazing women in your unit. They have longevity. They know this is not their first rodeo. Okay, they know the product. They've got customers. They just need to increase the number of customers they have and increase their team members, and it's a done deal. So what's the problem?
Okay. Make it sound so easy, Linda. That's what we need to talk about tonight.
Because, okay, I'm looking at these names. Okay, I don't know everybody on here, but I know enough about your unit to know that this is not their first rodeo. And you know what? Here's what I also know about your unit, even though I don't even know them, is the fact that these are women who keep children alive. These are women who pay bills. These are women who have moved up in their jobs. These are women who manage households. These are women who probably went to high school and college. These are women who probably are a little bit competitive because only competitive women join Mary Kay. I mean, seriously. I mean, we are a whole bunch of women who don't like cubicles and we don't like people telling us what to do. And so you've got this massive group of people. How many people are in your unit, Katie Ray?
We're almost to 70. I think we're at like 68.
Okay. So if 68 people can earn an Equinox, then you really need around 100 people to put yourself in position for a Cadillac. So that basically just means that half the people in the unit need to share this business with one person. Like we could do that today, like before 9 o'clock tonight.
That'd be great.
Okay. Guys, quit thinking about Mary Kay. It ain't that hard. I read somewhere the other day that 82,000 women in America every day are leaving their jobs in the age of COVID. The number is staggering, you guys. Women are looking for what we have. Women are looking for what we have right now. You know, Katie Ray, I think it's very interesting that there was this perfect storm that happened. You know, Estee Lauder sales are down 69%. Sephora sales down 29%. Our sales are skyrocketing. Why? Okay, we already had all the components. We already had a group of women who work from home. Now the entire world had to learn how to work from home, but we already know how to work from home. We know how to work with a plan sheet. We know how to set boundaries with our children. We know how to do a 6 most important things to do list. This is our life. This is what we've been doing since 1963. So we already have this plan in place. Okay, then to make the perfect storm even more perfect, if we weren't virtual before, we were forced to virtual in March, but it wouldn't have worked if we were the only people virtual. Our customers had to go virtual to educate their children. Okay, so they had to learn to use Zoom and they had to learn to use Facebook Live and they had to learn to use FaceTime. They had to learn how to use streaming platforms like we're on StreamYard tonight. We had to learn how to do this. And so now you've got this 68 people in your unit who this is not their first rodeo. They know how to sell product. And now they've seen enough virtual. They've had to do enough virtual and all their customers had to do virtual. And so now that's why our sales are so high because not only what we do is so unique because we have these very deep, meaningful relationships with customers. Okay. Yes. And you know, I realize we're picking up a lot of customers virtually right now, but we're smart enough to know that the moment that we can go face to face, and some people are already face to face, everybody has a different level of comfort with COVID. And, you know, I mean, you know, I know people who have never stopped doing face-to-face appointments. I know people who haven't stopped doing face-to-face Mary Kay meetings, but it's all, you know, all that's relative and it's not relative to the point that I'm making, which is we had to go virtual. Our clients had to go virtual. So now we've got the perfect storm. We've got the talent. We've got the ability. And We just need 30 some people to step up to the plate and share the opportunity with one other person and get ourselves to 100 so we can get to another plateau.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, and you're so right, because my sales, I do Queen's Quarter sales every year, and I am more on target for that. I've just got it half done, and it's only November, right? So that's crazy.
It's only November 1st.
It's crazy. So people are looking for our products and what we deliver and offer, and you're totally right. It's a wonderful thing. Everyone's agreeing with you, Linda. Yes, yes, yes. Jake said.
Well, we as women, we tend to overthink everything. And it's like, there's nothing to overthink. Okay. Every one of the people in your life. Okay. So first of all, let's just go down the road of things we already know. Every woman in this unit knows 150 families that the next person doesn't know. Okay. So how do we know that? It's because the average number of wedding invitations that go out in America to a church wedding is 150 families. Okay. And for the people who tell me that they don't know 150, I'm going to go to your Facebook page when we're done and say, liar, liar, pants on fire. Of course, you know 150 families. Okay. Now, so what that number means is that half of the people in America know over 150 families. That's what a bell curve is. So you've got this law of influence. I was just talking to Maya's group a few minutes ago, and one of the books that everybody in this unit should own is the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. Okay, sorry, this is backwards and upside down. The 21 irrefutable, that's a big word, 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. He talks in here about the law of influence. Okay, now what does that mean? Okay, so you got 68 people in your unit. Let me do some math here. Okay, and they have influence over 150 people. Now, what does that word mean, influence? It means those people like you. Those people trust you. Okay? See, nothing happens in Mary Kay until someone likes you and trusts you. Nothing happens. Okay? That's why you don't have to know every ingredient in this product. I could not literally tell you one ingredient in one of our products, and I will have made like $11 million here in a couple of years. Okay. I don't need to know that stuff. What I need to do is make sure she likes me and trusts me. Okay. And then I have influence when she likes me and trusts me. Okay. So how do you get people? I'm doing math and talking at the same time, which is really not really my gift.
Okay. It's okay. My family's being crazy and ran in here and did a little dance.
Calm down. Okay. So you got 68 people in your unit. They know 150 people each. So there's 10,200 people that your unit has influence over. Okay.
Wow.
So that means 10,200 people like them, trust them, and would probably try their products if they asked them to try it. Okay. Now here is what you guys need to know. Not one of those 10,200 people woke up this morning and said, I think I want my skin to look awful today. I think I want it to be dry. I think I want it to be oily. I think I want a couple of pimples. I want to see a couple of new wrinkles. I want to look haggard by the end of the day. And I want to look washed out. Not a single one of those 10,200 people said that. And you know what you have? They like you and they trust you. And they will try your products. And here's the other thing, guys. I didn't look it up. I think the number is 924. The average person in America, again, the middle of the bell curve, half will spend more, half will be less. Okay, let's take 10,200 people. They're all going to spend $924 in the next 8 weeks. Or no, not even 8 weeks. How many weeks to Christmas? 6?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, holy crap. Okay. Let's do that again. Is that right? 924. They're going to spend $424,800.
That's a lot.
Okay. Now, if one of those people out of your 150 decided, hey, I need some extra Christmas cash,
Mm-hmm.
I would be happy if I just made $500 extra Christmas cash. You know how easy it would be for someone to sell $1,000 between now and Christmas. I mean, gracious, you guys, that's like $100 and some a week. I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy little effort. So let's just change up our mind a little bit. Let's think bigger and let's think faster. And I think everybody on this call tonight can think of at least maybe 20 people that could use an extra $500 for Christmas. Guys, these people aren't marrying you. You're not asking them to marry you. This is not forever. You know, go to these people and say, hey, you want to make an extra $500 or $1,000 for Christmas? Let's come into Mary Kay. It's $30, $130 or $100, whatever the option may be. And you can get your Christmas at cost and you can sell enough to pay for your own Christmas. How easy would that be? And then if you talk to, we know that the average is 1 out of 4. So if you talk to 12 people, you're going to be a red jacket. And red jackets are getting huge bonuses these days. And I just saw the company. Did you see that? Where the company?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you have the stats on that? Do you have that handy? Where if you go into DIQ with a red jacket on your team, you get like a $200 bonus. And if you finish DIQ with a certain number of red jackets, you can earn up to $500.
Yeah, I think it's three red jackets. You get 500.
Mary Kay's a cash cow, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cash cow.
We just you get an automatic bonus right now. Like we just got Kathy Clay. They send her $100 and then they sent me $100.
I mean, immediately. Immediately. You don't even have to wait till the end of the month.
Nope. That's amazing.
Well, and I think, you know, I'm watching all the comments here as well. You guys, it's such a cash cow what we do. We sell a consumable good. And so what you have to think about is tonight, every one of your customers are going in their bathroom and they're washing down the drain what you just sold them. And as long as little girls are being born, you're never going to run out of customers. And if she likes you and trusts you, she's going to introduce you to her mother. Have you asked to meet her mother? Have you asked to meet her sister? Have you asked to meet her best friend? You know, Mary Kay said, you know, the first step is to ask, you know, and you know, then they begin, if they love it, their mama will love it.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And you said such a great thing just there, you know, you have to ask. And we have customer groups and consultants that have customer groups, and I just started talking about this. If you don't engage with those people or talk to them or ask, then having a customer group and just throwing things out there doesn't do really us any good, does it? Do you feel like that, Linda?
Well, no. I mean, you're just entertaining people. You're not doing anything. And so I think sometimes people don't understand that follow-up is everything. It's absolutely everything. So let me give you a perfect example of how you talk to people through Facebook Messenger. Okay, that would be a good place to start, and then we'll segue back to your customer group because this is going to tie right in. I think it was like 2 Christmases ago. I had not been to a Pampered Chef party in years, and I really do like their stuff. I have a lot of Pampered Chef stuff. And I thought, well, I'll maybe get some people some Pampered Chef for Christmas. I'd like to get some stuff myself. And just by happenstance, a consultant in my unit sent me a private Facebook Messenger. Now, here's what I immediately recognized. It was a group. It was a generic message. It was professionally done. I mean, I have no complaints about the message, but I knew I was one of 100 people or 200 or 300 people that got the message. And I thought, great. Well, I now know somebody in Pampered Chef and I'll place an order. It was not Katie Ray 2 days later that another Mary Kay consultant in my unit sent me a different message through Facebook Messenger. And it sounded like this. Linda, I have this really good friend and she just started selling Pampered Chef. Let me tell you about her. So she told me her story. She told me why the consultant had started selling Pampered Chef. Now, I don't know, Linda, if you need any Pampered Chef or if you've ever used it, but it would mean a lot to me if you actually just looked at the brochure. And if not, it's no big deal, but it would mean a lot to me. And it would mean a tremendous lot to her if you placed at least a small order for Christmas. Now, which one do you think I spent the money with?
Yeah. The second one.
Who actually sent me a personal message, guys. Now I bought from both. I think I bought like a $20 item from the first girl, and I probably spent $200 or $300 with the other girl. And it was that personal message, Katie Ray. And so you guys have got this very active group. And so the first thing you do, well, let's go back to your main page. Let me tell you about interacting with your main page. I mean, guys, you got to start putting things on your main page, your personal page. Mm-hmm. You know, you can't do call to action, but you can sure show the new stuff. You can sure tell them, oh my gosh, I had so much fun tonight. We were in like a Zoom, and you guys could be screenshotting this right now and putting it out there on your page going, the thing I love about my Mary Kay is I get to hang around happy people at 8:20 at night, you know, and you know, isn't the training in Mary Kay just the best? I mean, those are kind of positive, amazing things that you could be throwing out on your Facebook page. Not every day, but you want at least 2 or 3 times a week to be talking about something going on in the Mary Kay world. Okay. Now that's step one. Now don't go home and wait around for the world to say, hey, I think I want to do Mary Kay. So you notice how many people like it. Mm-hmm. Okay. If they like it, or they comment, then you head up to your personal message and you say, oh my gosh, Katie Ray, I was so excited about Mary Kay. I noticed that you saw my post, and you know what? We're doing this really cool thing in Mary Kay right now. And whatever the cool thing you're doing in Mary Kay right now, and I'll do some samples, and we're doing virtual facials. And I'd love for you to be the first person on my list. Okay. So I've got to go one step further. And so the same thing, guys, when you're in here with customers, you've got to go and let them know that you noticed they were there and you care about them and that we're doing some fun things in here and so forth and so on. Is this your customer group or is this your consultant group that we're talking about?
This is our consultant group, but we have the big Party in Your PJs group where all of our consultants have customers in there too. And then each one, some of them have their own groups too.
Well, and you've got to ask better questions too. You know, when you're doing in your big customer group and you notice that your customer is in there, you have to, you know, and I haven't seen, and so you already may be doing this, but I'm in a lot of groups. As a retired national, I'm in a lot of groups right now because I want to see who's doing it really well and who isn't. And you guys were one of the first groups I watched, and I was like, oh my gosh, these people like know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. You are blessed, you guys, to have both Katie Ray and Chatney in there. I mean, not all groups run like your group. I mean, they're fun. Those people are fun. And so I hope that like when they're getting ready to go live and they're in there, you're tagging every single one of your customers saying, oh my gosh. And that also take your customers that are in that party group and put them in a text group. So when Katie Ray and Chatney's live, you're in there going, oh my gosh, you guys, she's getting ready to start. They're giving some big giveaways tonight. I don't want you to miss out. And so that you're getting the word out, you're building the energy for that particular performance, whatever it is, or whatever you're doing that night. And then go in and do the tagging. So, because if you're not tagging, they're not seeing it. So you've got to tag them. And then when you see them come in, go, oh my gosh, Katie Ray, it's so good to see you in here. Keep that comment section alive. And then when it's over, if there hasn't been an ask for the sale at that moment, then immediately go into Facebook Messenger and say, oh my gosh, was that not so fun? What was the most fun part for you? And you know, what was the product that you loved the most in there tonight? And is that something that you want to get now or for Christmas? I mean, you've got to do that many more steps with each person.
Yeah, that is so true. That's so great, Linda. Thank you for sharing that, because it is true. You have to be a little bit more active.
Well, you have to be passionate.
Yes.
You cannot be passive. You have to be passionate. You know, I mean, gracious guys, we've just come off of an election, for crying out loud. I mean, look at all the candidates running for your state, for your local. Look at the presidency. Look where the passion is. Look who's passionate, who is going to win because they want to win so badly. You know, we are all like sports fans. You know, most people are sports fans. Guys, it's heart that wins that ball game. It's heart that wins a Cadillac. It's not 100 people. It's the heart of the 68 people. And it's always amazing to me. People think they have to completely change to go to the next level in Mary Kay. You just have to give a little bit more. You just have to give a little bit more. You know, I did this. I don't know where I did this. I think you were part of what I did this. I want you to take, I think I did this right during double credit. I want you to take a piece of paper. This is hard to do backwards. And you start down at the bottom. Okay, you start down at the bottom. And this is when you first come into Mary Kay. Okay, down here. And then you set a goal. Your director helps you set a goal. And she says, do 30 faces in 30 days. And even if you don't do 30, you moved yourself up the bar graph. You moved yourself up the scale. Okay, and then you hang out there for a while with 10, 20 customers. Okay, then in order to get to the next level, you've got to put some energy in it. You've got to give yourself some goals and some deadlines. Okay, and every effort that you make has to go higher. And you have to tell yourself, I don't have to work this hard forever, but I have to work this hard for a short period of time. And so, you know, when I think about the longevity of my career and the rewards of the longevity of my career, there have been seasons I just floated along. And there are seasons where I kicked butt and took names. And if you want to move ahead, if you want to make an extra $2,000 or $3,000 for Christmas, if you want to become a red jacket, if you want this Cadillac to materialize, and we want this number of red jackets, then we've got the best 5 weeks, Katie Ray, in the entire year to kick butt and take names, because your customers are going to buy. I can't get over this number.
9 million.
Your customers are going to buy this much stuff for Christmas. Your customers, if not your customers, the people you know. And what if you went to those 150 people you know and just said, would you buy just one thing from my small business this year? Here's the other thing. Not only are these massive numbers of women leaving the workforce, you know what? Communities want to buy local right now. They see the damage that COVID lockdowns have done, and they see that the big chain stores have benefited and the local people have suffered. And here's what I'm hearing everywhere. I'm seeing on social media. I'm hearing it from friends. I'm going to buy from somebody I know this year. I'm going to buy my Christmas locally. And so it's so easy just to go ask and say, would you buy, would you consider buying some of your Christmas from me and my local business this year? I'm telling you, people will raise their hand and say, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, and I think about too, and I said this in a training or something that, our local mall is almost dead.
Oh, yeah. There was an announcement in the newspaper the other day, they couldn't make their rent. And it's the second biggest mall in Kentucky.
Wow.
They can't make their rent.
That's terrible. So I think
it's massive.
Right. And that's what's happening in our area too. And really, who wants to buy their Christmas gifts at Walmart? No one. No one wants to do that. And so you're like a Mary Kay elf. You're like the girl that is the personal shopper. I love being everyone's personal shopper, where I can help them customize products and put together things. So yeah. Well, that's awesome, Linda.
Well, I just think that your unit's just come off of this really big win. And the most important thing that you do, Mary Kay taught us that, is, that you don't rest on your laurels, because basically I always think about it like when you're in high school and you thought about the prom for 4 years, and then you got ready for the prom for 4 years. And then it was so exciting building up to the prom, which probably didn't meet your expectations when it actually happened. But then the prom is over and you're just sitting there kind of dead in the water with nothing to look forward to. And so it's so important as a unit and as a consultant out here that you have the next win. So what is the next win? And I think right now it's that you get 3 recruits, that you become a red jacket. That's your next win. Now, I know that we've got a new red jacket. Tell me about your new red jacket in your unit.
Yeah, Kathy Cook.
Yeah.
Our brand new red jacket. And Colleen Gonzalez is a red jacket.
Yay, Colleen.
So, yes. And so we have girls that are just one step away from red. We have a lot of senior consultants right now. We have 5 or 6 of those. So I have a lot of girls that are ready to move up to that next level, which is awesome.
And again, this doesn't need to be so formal. We don't even need to set up interviews. You just need to go handpick 12 people and ask them if they'd like to make a little extra cash for Christmas, or who do they know that needs to make some extra cash for Christmas, wants to get their Christmas at cost. And it's $30 for crying out loud.
I think we make it hard. I mean, listening to you say that, I think we do, because I'm like, okay, I need to get to 100, and really, that's only what, 40 people away or 35 people away.
Literally, it's probably no more than 100 conversations held by about 20 people. I mean, it's a conversation. Now I'm not a big fan of that $30 kit, but you can start the ball game at $30.
Right.
But yeah.
You know that all of our new people that have done anything have bought the $130 kit.
Yeah. Katie had a new girl who came in a couple months ago, and she came in with 30. And I mean, immediately she had like 2 face-to-face facials. Well, she had to use her recruiter's kit because she didn't have anything. And so we called Katie over the weekend and said, can you get me a kit? Well, it's really hard to get a kit. I mean, we finagled a kit, but it's not easy to get a kit. So I just encourage people. It's like,
Yeah.
So I think what we do with your group tonight is I'm going to ask y'all to do some homework just real quickly for me. I just think that this is something, guys, y'all can reach by the end of the month. I think you can have 100 people in your unit by the end of the month. Let's just make a list of 12 people. Okay. And don't prejudge them. I'm not going to say 12 people who just lost their job, or 12 people who are now working from home, or I promise you, everybody's life changes normally every 6 months. And now we can confidently say 100,000% every single customer in your life, even if they're not your customer, they're your friend, they're your family, their life has changed in the past 6 months. They are making changes. They are making life changes right now. We're asking for a $30 decision. Okay. So make a list of 12 people, and you want a live conversation if at all possible. If you're using Facebook Messenger, use the voice aspect of it. Don't use type. If it's iPhone to iPhone, I don't know how Android works. I'm not Android girl. Y'all need to grow up and get an iPhone. Just kidding. Not really. Anyway, if you have an iPhone and I have an iPhone, I can leave you a voice message. I want you to hear my voice. I want you to hear my excitement that it's like, oh my gosh, can you believe it? There's only 5 weeks to Christmas. And, we've got a Mary Kay kit right now. It's $30. Allows you to come in. You can get your products at cost. And, I can show you quite easily how to make an extra $500 to $1,000 between now and Christmas. Do you know that all your family and friends are going to spend $924 between now and Christmas? Do you know that? They're going to spend $924. I'll bet you they'll spend $100 with you if you was a Mary Kay business. Okay. We're in sales, people. We're in sales. And when you're in sales, that means your idea is better than her idea. That's what sales is. My idea is much better than yours. Okay. All right. I already know all your friends are going to spend $924. Okay. I know that. So I vote that they spend $100 with you so that you can make a bunch of money between now and Christmas. And then at Christmas, when Christmas is over, if you want to get out of Mary Kay, that's okay. Now,
right.
And I know she ain't getting out of Mary Kay after Christmas, but she'll figure that out all by herself when she comes in. Okay. So anyway, we're going to make a list of 12 people, and we're going to have a conversation with 12 people. We're going to tell them about this $30 kit that we have with the company. We're going to tell those 12 people that the average American, let me look that up real quick. I don't want to misquote you. You can just Google this stuff. You can Google everything these days. But, then don't believe everything you hear on the internet. Is how much do people spend on the average for Christmas in America? Right. Go.
Love Google.
All right. The number is 924. Okay. So, which is up from 885 in 2018. So your people are spending $942. So we're going to have this conversation. Go back to your homework. 12 people. We're going to call them up. We're going to have a voice conversation, or we're going to leave a voice message with enthusiasm and confidence, like I'm exhibiting here tonight. $30 kit. Your family and friends are going to spend an average of $924. You know, 150 families I don't know. They don't know that number. They do not know that number. You're going to tell them that number. Okay. And then before you get them on the phone, see how many Facebook friends they have. Okay? So do your homework. Okay. And sometimes you can see how many friends people have, and sometimes you can't see how many friends people have, but you can kind of get a gauge for it. And just say, oh, I just think this would be perfect for you. I think this would be perfect for you. And if not, it's no big deal. I'd love to talk with you about it. If you're up for a Starbucks, or if you're up for a coffee, and if you're up for a Zoom, I'll send you a Starbucks card, whatever. But I'd love to have a conversation with you.
That's great.
See what happens. But don't send a text to 12 people at the same time. That will not work. That will not work. You will not be a red jacket. You will not be a red jacket.
I think you're right, like that voice connection, because everyone's sending texts. I mean, look how many political texts we get every day. And what do? I write stop at the bottom of them, right? Because it's just noise. It's just constant noise. And so making that connection and calling or voice messaging people is so important right now.
Well, we always say in the world of Mary Kay, if you want to stand out in a crowd, do what the crowd is not willing to do. The crowd is not willing to write personal thank you notes. The crowd is not willing to put a note inside a reorder sack. The crowd is not willing to do a whole lot of stuff. It takes so little to succeed in Mary Kay. It takes so little to stand out from the crowd in Mary Kay. It's unbelievable. But it's those little bitty things that make a big difference, you guys. I was telling Maya's group tonight about Mary Kay, the power of a thank you note, the power of that personal message, that power of, just personal connection, because people will do business with you if they like you and they trust you. And they're only going to like you and trust you if you are genuinely interested in them, you care about them, you know their kids' names, you know stuff about them, because you've asked, because you genuinely are interested. That's the rich part of Mary Kay, Katie Ray. It's not that you were my offspring director. I know the layout of your house. Mm-hmm. I saw you build that swimming pool. Paul took me shooting guns. Okay.
That's right.
Okay. I know the pull-out couch in your guest room downstairs that's partially your office. That's what makes Mary Kay rich. Not that you're my director, but that I have something deeper. And that's what's so beautiful about each one of you guys here tonight. Well, I want to tell you the Mary Kay story, and then I'll end with a different story. Hang on a minute. I have to write a note. My mind goes in a million things. So I want to tell you the Mary Kay story. True story. True story. This is how Mary Kay operated. This is why people loved Mary Kay. She was tough as nails. Mm-hmm. She would say, 3 recruits? You can have 3 recruits by tomorrow. Okay. Have you talked to everybody that comes within 3 feet of you about the Mary Kay opportunity? I mean, she was tough, Well, I'll tell you 2 stories. Well, first, I have to write this down or I'll forget. Okay. I'll tell you a true story about an interaction I had with Mary Kay. So this was like back when I was $1 million director. This is before, obviously, Mary Kay had her stroke. It was probably a year or 2 before she had her stroke. And the company called me once and they wanted me to come down, fly down, and I was going to do a video. And this was right after my Choices recording. Oh, I was going to show you how to do that.
Yeah.
I'm going to Choices tonight. I will have to do that too.
We'll talk about that.
Okay. So anyway, so she knew, I didn't know she had heard Choices, but she heard Choices. And she said, oh my gosh, I love Choices. She talked about Choices, and you are where you are by the choices you made, or you've allowed other people to make for you. She actually used that and the milking the cow story in the career conference speech. And so we stopped for lunch. I'd been working all day. I'd watched her film. She'd watched me film. And, it's a big old warehouse, where they make these videos. It's not very glamorous whatsoever. And so we break for lunch and a food truck comes in and we go and we sit down. Well, Mary Kay grabs my hand and she goes, I just love your milking the cow story. I just love your milking the cow story, And for those of you who are watching, you don't know, I grew up on a dairy farm, and no matter what you did for 18 years, I didn't know that you could get sick, because at 6 a.m. and 6 p.m., you had to go to the barn and milk the cows. If people died, you buried them in the middle of the day. You have to milk the cows. And in order to be an entrepreneur and to run a successful business, you have to have a milking the cow attitude. You cannot like just be in the mood to do Mary Kay. You have to do Mary Kay like it's a real job every day, and you can't miss. She grabs my hand, Katie Ray, and back behind the camera is just a bunch of dudes who know nothing about Mary Kay. They're just there with cords and cameras and lights. And she literally, this went on for minutes, like 20 minutes or so. She drugged me around to each guy and she goes, "This is Linda Toupin, and she's going to tell you her milking the cow story." And I remember like looking at Mary Kay going, "Mary Kay, I don't think they want to hear my milking the cow story." And she goes, "Oh yeah, they do. Everybody needs to hear your milking the cow story." And see, you didn't tell Mary Kay no, because she knew what was better for them was to hear that if you want something in life, you have to have a milking the cow attitude about it. You have to go after it. And so anyway, but I want to tell you a second Mary Kay story, and then I'm going to show you how to do choices. Then we'll begin. Okay. But back to writing notes, standing out in the crowd, doing what the crowd is not willing to do, is if you wrote Mary Kay a thank you note for whatever it was you wanted to write Mary Kay a thank you note, she wrote you a thank you note for the thank you note.
That's awesome.
She wrote thank you notes for the thank you note that you wrote her. And so what I'm saying here, guys, is play higher. Play on a higher playing field. You're better than what you're performing, and you're performing at excellence. You just earned the next level. You just went to the next level in Mary Kay. And if you want to go to the next level, which is Cadillac, then we just have to play the game higher. We have to expect more from us. What can you do with the last 10 reorders that you got? Are you in the habit of saying when you write up a sales ticket, how would you like to pay for that? Would you like MasterCard, Visa, personal check, cash, or would you like to get a discount or get it for free? That should be normal language for you. That should come out of your mouth 10 times a day. Any time that you're in interaction with a woman, how would you like to pay for that? MasterCard, Visa, personal check, or would you like a discount or to get it for free? Guys, the perfect customer is the one who loves you, loves the product, and can't afford it. She is the perfect customer. All these people in your Facebook group, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, they do not have a roll-up bag at their house. I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, they would all love a roll-up the bag at their house. But guys, you haven't asked them if they would like to get their product for free or at a discount. Okay? We're not asking the right question. Okay. So anyway, choices.pink. Let me see if I can share my screen. Hang on.
Okay. I don't know.
Hang on just a second here. I think I can. It gives me the option on my page.
Oh, awesome.
So let's try it. Okay, guys, this phone is programmed to think. And when you bought it, you programmed it to interact with you. These 6 inches between your ears is whether you're successful in Mary Kay or not. It has nothing to do with your personality, whether you're shy, whether you're backward, whether you're extroverted, whether you have a college education. It has nothing to do with nothing. It has to do with programming. And so how do you program for success? You surround yourself with successful people. You think like successful people. And that's why you have books like The Mary Kay Way on your nightstand. That's why you read every year the Mary Kay Ash story. That is why you have the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, or you have them on audio books. Okay. There is a wealth of information available to you guys that's absolutely free. And so I'm going to share the screen right now. Okay. Let's make sure it works. All right. All right. Can you see this, Katie Ray?
There we go.
Can you see choices?
Yep.
Okay.
Let me get rid of this.
Okay. So
I've never done this before. So you're teaching me new things.
Okay. All right. So what you see up there is choices.pink. That's the name of the website. This is what it looks like when you go to it. Now it's asking you to join, but guys, you don't have to join. I'm giving you a free membership. Okay. So you log in. So write this down, you guys, because I'm going to give you your username and passcode. Okay. The username This is so hard to remember. Choices and the passcode is pink. Okay. I have to make my life simple or I will lose my mind. Okay. So the website is called choices.pink. The username is choices. The password is pink. It's all lowercase. Okay. All right. So when you get inside you're going to see something that looks like this. Now, this is on my laptop. On your phone, it looks a little bit different. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to see is choices. This is what Mary Kay listened to. This is what Mary Kay was dragging me around, making people tell my story. And in order to share this with people, you just go down here, how to share choices audio. Okay, you copy. All right, so let's say I want to send this to Katie Ray. She's my Facebook friend, and she was telling me the other day how she hates her job, okay? Or she doesn't like being home all the time, and she wants to find something else. So I can just go into Facebook Messenger. I can write her a message. Hey, Katie, I was just listening to my friend. Everybody, you all can call me my friend, Linda Toupin, and I immediately thought of you. Listen on the way to work tomorrow and let me know what hit you in the head. I will toss a lip gloss at ya for fun. All right, I can't do all this at the same time. Just for fun. Okay, so I copy paste. I send it to her. That's all there is to it. Okay, so that's how you share choices. If you want it in Spanish, it's down here at the bottom. This is Spanish. Okay. But we're going to program our mind. And here is a wealth, guys, a wealth of training here. Okay. So you click this link, and what you're going to find when you click the link is you're going to find a ton of audios, videos, Voxers, and downloads. Now, this is like a library. So you can go over here, and let's say you want an audio on hostesses, or you want an audio on team building. Let's say that you've only got 3 or 4 minutes and you're brushing your teeth and combing your hair. You want to listen to a Voxer. You go over here. I want one on money. I want one on skincare class. I mean, a Voxer is 3 or 4 minutes long. Or you want a webinar. Okay. But all of these can be listened to. Even if it's a video, like a webinar, you can still listen in your car. Okay. So how do you use it with your team or with yourself? So let's just click on audio. And if we're going to build a Red Jacket team, let's just start right here. Recruiting is the highest form of flattery. Okay.
Love that one.
This is like my favorite. This is what Leah Laughlin listened to when she was a brand new consultant. Now, if you don't know, she's a national sales director. And this completely framed her mind about recruiting and why it's a flattery to offer this business to somebody. You should not be begging anybody to do Mary Kay. Okay. So I can just click it and listen here. Or I can just copy the address because I keep these on a private YouTube channel. And so let's just say I want to put this in, oh, sorry. Went to the wrong place. Let's say that I just want to put this in a Facebook group. Okay. I want people in a Facebook group. I want everybody in the Facebook group to listen to it. So I can just go over here to Toupin Family Forever. I won't type the whole intro, and I can just post it. And there you have it. So then your team could listen to it. Or like I said, you can just listen to it as you're driving or whatever. Okay. So that's, I stopped sharing. So hopefully we'll go back to, let me go find you. Okay. There we are. Okay. Okay. So there's just a ton of stuff there, but it's programming. Guys, you have to constantly tell yourself you can do this every single day.
Wow. Well, thank you, Linda. Seriously, that is such a legacy that you've left us. And I'm forever grateful for choices and just all of the education. You know, you have been my voice in my head for the last 17 years. And I'm super grateful that you are.
Well, I remember being where a lot of the consultants in this group are, where maybe my confidence wasn't as high, obviously, as it is right now. And I was listening to Sue Kirkpatrick, and I was listening to Rena Tarbett, and really legends that, were really there at the beginning. And I would go to an interview, or I would go to a facial, or I would start a conversation on phone, and out of my mouth would come words that weren't my words. And I would go, who is talking right now? Because it didn't feel like me, but it was the people I was listening to that had programmed me to talk like a successful woman.
Yeah, that's totally true. Because I think people all the time tell me I sound like Chatney. I'm like, well, maybe she sounds like me.
Funny. I had a consultant once who got a hold of an old Rena Tarbett tape. This wasn't that many years ago. Rena's been dead for a long time. And she goes, oh my gosh, I just listened to this woman and she sounds just like you. And I said, no, I sound just like her.
Yes. Well,
Katie Ray, I want to say to you, not everybody gets a Katie Ray as a director. And I want to say this to all of you who are watching. Guys, I've worked with tens of thousands of directors around the world. Not everybody is as lucky as you. You have a dedicated woman here, a Christian woman, a family woman, a woman who is literally living the principles of Mary Kay. God first, family second, career third. She is the embodiment of that. And she is willing to give of her time to help you grow your business. So please understand, not everyone who ever bought a Mary Kay starter kit gets a Katie Ray. And I'll be honest, if I would give anything to have had a Katie Ray director. I had a wonderful director, and I have nothing bad to say about my director, but she was not Katie Ray. Okay? She was not Katie Ray. And so you guys, you're so lucky. And if truth be known, I'm going to cry here maybe. If truth be known, I'm a little jealous of each of you. Do you have any idea what I would give to have your profile cards and to have 30 years to turn those profile cards into a national area? I know what's in your box. I know what's in your profile card. I know what's in your customer base. I know that there's tens of thousands of women there you haven't met. And if you look at my Facebook page right now, before yesterday, I went up to a little town, guys, a little town in Eastern Indiana. And there is a family there that I've been in their home so many times. I know where everything is in their home. And it was because I went to one facial over 32 years ago. And I know that is in your profile box. And, I wrote our story for our finale last year. And this was just 10 years of the women and the parties. And guys, in your profile box, don't starve in an orchard. God's already put all these people in your life. They're not there just to buy mascara. They have a sister and they have a mom. And you've been trained by a woman who was trained by Mary Kay. You go and give of yourself. You go pour yourself into other women's lives. People are hungry for connection right there. They're hungry to have people touch them right now. They're hungry for people to care about them. When was the last time your customers got a personal note? When was the last time that your customers heard a personal voice that says, hey, I would love to come and buy you coffee. I'd love to come and just visit with you. Guys, we have so much to give the world right now. We are a bright, shiny light in a very dark world. So never take for granted what you've been given, and never take for granted your amazing director, Katie Ray.
Aw, well, thank you, Linda. You're super sweet.
You can call me later for all those kind of words.
I'll give it. Yeah, I'll send you something for that wonderful compliment. But I will. Thank you for the Mary Kay stories. So wonderful. And I always say that God placed me in the Toupin area, and I'm super, super thankful for that, because I've spent years of driving down to see Linda. Stayed in Linda's home. Stayed in a couple of different homes of hers. The big house.
Big house, yeah.
got lost in the big house. And so thank you for just letting me be a part of your life for so many years. And I thought this was funny, but Linda, she always is so funny. I always laugh when she says this, but do you remember how you used to say, I'm your director that could be off grid?
You are my off grid. I tell people that all the time. You have to meet Katie, Ray, and Paul. They're almost off grid. Almost off grid.
As I sit in front of my ring light. That's okay. Well, thank you for your time, Linda. Wonderful, wonderful. This training will be, I put it on my YouTube channel. It's going to be with me forever. So I so appreciate you, and you're pouring into people like always.
I want you to keep me up to date every week on how many new recruits you've got. Guys, quit making this hard.
Yes.
Making this hard. 12 conversations, guys. You'll have a red jacket here before Christmas, and you'll be blessing women with a way to have some extra money, get their products at cost, and have the life that you enjoy and the power of the friends that you make in Mary Kay.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Good night, everybody. I can't wait to read all your comments. I'm going to go straight over there right now. All right.